All right, guys, I'm live. Wanted to come and talk to you guys about the pain that I'm in. So this is Bitcoin right now live. Today is down 14%. It is crashing very, very fast. Stocks are crashing very, very fast. But gold and silver just crashed even more. I got to show you guys a silver chart. This is what Bitcoin looks like live right now. It literally went to 60,000. So this is not, it is not looking good at all. Let's actually go to silver, silver chart. My goodness, silver is crashing like no tomorrow. I mean, people thought that this was the safe haven. This is behaving worse than Bitcoin. It's literally down 15% today. In the last 5 days, it's down 41%. Oh my God, bro. If you bought silver thinking, oh my Lord, oh, everything is crashing. What is happening? I don't know what to do. Oh my God. Like this. So, oh my God. Let's actually talk here. So, okay, man, my goodness. I don't even know what to say. So, okay, so I've been buying a lot of Bitcoin. Right now, obviously I have a private wallet, but I do have some money deployed. I have, I'm down right now. I'm about to buy more right now. I have about, I got some money in my account. I got to deploy more money, but I thought I was buying the dips, guys. I thought I was buying the dips. How is gold? Let's actually look at gold. I thought I was buying the dips at 69. I thought I was buying the dips. Oh my God. Gold, for being such a huge asset, is down pretty substantially. Today is down about 4%. So that's trillions of dollars that it's down. People look at 4% like it's not that much, but it's a lot. Are we starting a recession or depression? Something. Yeah. So gold is about to hit 4%. Gold is down a lot. And what's crazy, it's gold should be going up. So let's actually look at the stock market. Let's look at the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is the, top 100 companies. It's down, but it's not down as much. Still somewhere in the bullish territory. So I've been buying Bitcoin all the way down. Now I'm looking here and I'm like, well, I see another opportunity. We're about to hit $59,000 here live. So we are at a bear market, a lot of panic. Let's look at the fear and greed index. This lets you know how many people are scared. So usually when things like this happen, when people are scared, this is some of the best times to buy, right? So like when everybody is fearful in the markets, that's why whenever I get paid, I'm deploying money. I'm buying Bitcoin. I'm going to buy a bunch of silver again. Silver is really dipped down, went from $126 now back down to the 50s, to the 60s. So that is pretty scary for anybody that bought silver at the top, right? But we're definitely in the bear market. Somebody said it's going to go to zero soon. So when you start seeing comments like this is when you know you are in a bear market. So bear markets are all, they're cyclical, but they're also let you know about sentiment. When people start saying that things are going to go to, to zero, that's when you know you are in a bear market. When people start talking about, things like that, that's when you know you are flat out. The sentiment is very low, stuff like that. So somebody said, why are you giving financial advice? Why are you living on just basic life? Are you scamming us? Brother, you don't even know me. I'm pretty sure you're a troll. I'm not giving anybody financial advice at all. This is not a financial channel. I'm literally just talking about what's going on in the markets, what I'm doing. I'm not giving you guys anything. Somebody said that is a buying opportunity. That's up to them. But yeah, this is just some dips. A lot of people, were pretty much buying these things. They were buying a lot of silver. So I'm not telling you what to buy. Don't try to turn that on me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't telling you to do anything. I comment like that because I was blessed with the truth about Bitcoin. Google Epstein, there your answer. So that's also retarded. People trying to link Epstein to Bitcoin. That's also a part of the bear market sentiment when people start trying to do stuff like that. You know what's crazy? Like, let's say Bitcoin goes back to $126,000 tomorrow per coin. People would literally just forget about all of that stuff. That's how bear markets work. That's how markets in general work. People start tweaking. They start saying things. Yes. So let me ask you this. This is the saddest part about all of this. Epstein had a dog. Epstein uses the dollar. Epstein was an American, Israeli as well, connections. What did Epstein also do that we do? He used the dollar. Also, a lot of you guys that talk about Bitcoin like dying or whatever, or is attached to Epstein. Mind you, a lot of you guys probably invest in like BlackRock and don't even know it. Like a lot of you guys invest in Vanguard and don't even know it. And you're so anti-BlackRock. So like a lot of you guys are just retarded. You don't know what you're talking about. Most of the time, you know what I'm saying? Like you just don't know what you're talking about. You know, buy hard assets. Well, this is what happens when you buy a hard asset. This is what I'm trying to tell you. What I'm trying to paint the picture for you guys. You guys keep saying buy a hard asset. You bought the hard asset and then you lost all your money. So like people trying to say Bitcoin's going to zero, buy silver and gold, but yet you buy it and it does the same thing Bitcoin is doing. So something else is happening here, right? This is a different type of crash. He was the founder. There's receipt. Evidently, you don't know. I know. All that stuff is literally made up. He is not the CEO. He was literally in emails talking about Bitcoin. He was talking about XLM. He was talking about XRP. Those are just emails. He was not the founder. How can you be the founder and you don't even know how to encrypt emails? How can you be the founder of the first cryptocurrency, but you don't know how to encrypt your own emails? That's how I know you're retarded. You know what I mean? That's how I know you don't know what you're talking about. So it's sad. It's sad that you will come up. You don't even know how to encrypt the email. He got caught being a pedophile. If he actually knew how to encrypt things, you don't think he would have got away with this? Benny Johnson made a video basically going through the emails. Benny Johnson's also being attacked in the comments and on X for making that stupid ass video because he's also, again, this is what happens when things get very bearish, that people jump on these trends that are not real, that they're not true. You know what I'm saying? Like if it was true, like if I found enough evidence that Epstein was the creator of Bitcoin and he was Satoshi, I would tell you, oh my God, he's the creator. The problem with that is when the guy can't even encrypt and gets caught, and like, do you know what Bitcoin even is? Because then now we have to have a debate about what Bitcoin even is and what Bitcoin does. And encryption. It's called crypto because it's encrypted. It's encrypted into a whole different type of system. It's how XRP was born. Like it's how everything else was born. So if you want to say that, because I'm sure you invest in XRP, I'm sure you're saying that as an XRP person, right? Everybody that's investing in XRP, technically, you don't have an XRP without Bitcoin. So yeah, so if he created Bitcoin and you still invest, first of all, forget all of that. Let's go check on XRP. Oh, my Lord, have mercy. Hey, man, listen, cope with this. Don't cope with Bitcoin. Don't cope with Bitcoin and Satoshi being Epstein. What you need to be worried about is if you really believe in XRP, you should be buying it right now. You really should be buying it right now. There's a lot of people that talk about XRP going to 1,000. First of all, it's going back to 50 cents. Unfortunately, if you bought XRP, I'm praying for you because you're bleeding to Bitcoin. What do I mean by that? Well, in the last month, you're down 50% in 1 month. Bitcoin in 1 month, let's go to 1 month. Bitcoin in 1 month is down 34%. In 1 year, Bitcoin is down 36%. In 1 year, XRP is down 51%. There's a huge difference. You're bleeding to Bitcoin. Somebody said, let's go to Solana. Solana is one of my favorite coins. I don't really buy it like that, but oh my God, Solana. Oh my God. Oh my God, bro. Woo! Lord have mercy. My goodness, this is crazy. Bitcoin is done. Just face it. Bitcoin will be 25 cents just this time next week. And if that does happen, then I would say that you are correct. But I know it's not going to happen. You are retarded. And I hope that you and the XRP army know how retarded you really are for constantly attacking Bitcoin when you don't need to attack it. Yeah, that's that. You don't even know why you're investing in the XRP. Like you're just another XRP retard. And there's a lot of you guys, honestly. And I don't even hate XRP. I think XRP is actually a fine asset to hold if you really believe in it. The problem is every time you talk to an XRP person, they're anti-Bitcoin. So yeah, it's buying Bitcoin like buying stocks. No, because you're buying a risk asset. Number one, you're buying speculation. So you're speculating that in the next 10, 20 years, Bitcoin will be adopted by institutions, will be adopted and used like a gold, a digital gold. That's pretty much what you're insinuating by investing in something like this, you know? Yeah, man, it's tough out here, bro. I love Solana, man. I think this is a good price for me to get a few Solanas, to be honest. Where's Ethereum? That's the real question, right? Ethereum, man, my goodness, we are cooked, bro. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm cooked. My whole portfolio is cooked. Ethereum hit 1768. I thought Ethereum would be a little lower. Ethereum is actually less volatile than even Bitcoin at this point. Because today it's only down 2.7%. I think that's crazy. Bitcoin is down like what? What's Bitcoin down today? As a whole, Bitcoin is down 12%. Ethereum is not down that bad. So Ethereum low key has been a good hold through this. I love Solana. I'm a big fan of Solana. I'm gonna be honest with you. I love the ecosystem. After Bitcoin, Solana is one of my favorite coins. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I think about grabbing a few Solanas right now. I'm gonna be honest. I think this is just my opinion. You don't have to listen to me. This is not financial advice. I'm just telling you guys what I'm doing. So, all right, all jokes aside, I know I went at it with somebody that said Satoshi is Epstein, all this. All right, whatever. Fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Let me tell you guys this. And if you can, please smash the like button. This is what I would say. If you are planning to get into the market, in my opinion, this would be one of the best times to get in. When fear is at an all-time high, this is when big-time investors get in the market because they see that the masses are very scared. Retail is very scared. Institutions are scared. What they do is now they're saying, well, the fear, uncertainty, and doubt has taken over the market. So, hey, there's a crash coming. We already knew that there was a crash coming. I'm going to be honest. I knew there was a crash coming. Did I think it would happen this fast? I didn't think it would happen this fast. I'd be lying to you if I told you that I thought that Bitcoin and the rest of crypto would crash this fast. That AI stocks, right? Let's go to an AI stock because it's not just crypto, right? Let's go to Iran. This is getting nasty. This is from the NASDAQ. This is a let me actually go through. Let me tell you guys exactly what type of stock this is. So this is data centers, right? So this is about AI and data centers. And they're down 11% just today. This just today. You know what I mean? So it's not just Bitcoin, it's these stocks, it's AI. Everything seems to be crashing. Can it go lower? Absolutely. Can Bitcoin go to 10,000? Yo, bro, Bitcoin could go anywhere at this point because of what's going on in the broader markets. Another thing that happened was the new Fed chair. The new Fed chair is a hawk, right? The new Fed chair is about strengthening the dollar. I told you guys that we have a lot of problems when it comes to the dollars. He's about quantitative easing. He is very anti-printing. He's very anti-inflationary behaviors. He's anti-cutting rates to a degree. Now, I don't know how him and Trump are going to do together because Trump wants more rate cuts to print more money, to make things cheaper for people to buy. It's also going to cause inflation in the long run because that's just how inflationary behaviors work. Because what Trump wants to do is he wants everything to be at an all-time high by the time the midterms come, right? Because if Trump is known as the president that crashed crypto and crashed AI before the midterms, Republicans don't stand a chance. Like, let's be very honest. When you look at the analytics of what Trump needs to do here, Trump needs to step it up. And the Trump administration, they're going to have to find a way out of here. Because if everything is crashing under your watch, before the midterms, it's not going to look good. But I don't think that's going to happen. This is why it's happening in the first quarter of the year, right? because the elections are in Q4. So we have a long way to go. We have a bear market. I don't know how subtle this is going to be. I don't know how long this is going to take. Like, I'm going to be honest. Like, I don't know how long this is going to take. Another thing, I saw Ben Dykes in here. He said that he has a couple Bitcoin. Yeah, I think this is, again, this is what I'm doing. What I'm doing, and I'm buying more. I'm waiting to get paid from my sponsors in Bitcoin. I mean, and from my sponsors, I'm waiting to, I have money already deployed. I'm going to be spending some if it hits like 58, 50. If it hits from 58 to 51K, if it goes down another 10K, I will be buying a lot more. We don't know when the bottom is. The gold run was way overbought. Stop freaking out. I've been trading 21 years. Yeah, sure, buddy. Again, like, I hate when people make stupid comments like that, because how do you explain this then? Right? How do you explain this? How do you explain this? How do you explain silver? Gold and silver, you can say gold is overbought. Sure. But how do you explain gold going from a $10 trillion market cap to a almost $40 trillion market cap? How do you explain that? Right? And then how do you explain to people that silver is overbought? Silver's crashing. This is not overbought. 5 days, 40%. That is a crash. That's not overbought. That's a crash. It's crashing back down to the levels of literally $66 from $126. That's literally what happened to Bitcoin. Bitcoin went to 126,000 and then it crashed over to about 60,000. Silver was up 300% in a year. Wake up. So you call 40. Okay, so it's a 40% correction in your eyes. No problem. So if it goes back, so if it goes back down to $20 per coin, or if it goes back down to about, I hate when people do this, because then I can say, oh, but Bitcoin is up 30,000% since 2017. Then, like, what am I going to say? Oh, it was up 300% in the last year. It's just a correction. Oh, but Bitcoin was up 100,000% since 2013. Is this a correction? Or, like, you know what I mean? Like, that to me, that argument is so bad, because then you disregard the people who bought at $124. You disregard the people that bought at $115 per silver ounce per ounce. So it's like they're looking at a 40% correction. They're not looking at it as a correction. They're looking at it as a crash. This thing is crashing back down to the levels that it was at before it took off to $126. Bitcoin is a scam. Of course you're going to say that. And I'm not even going to defend it, because I don't need to defend it. There's no need to defend Bitcoin, bro. Bitcoin is going to do what Bitcoin's going to do. Bitcoin doesn't care about me or you. Bitcoin doesn't care. Bitcoin's been around since 2009. It's going to continue to be being around. You can say it's a scam. It's gone to 126,000. So if you missed out on it, bro, just tell me. If you missed out on Bitcoin, just tell me. You know what I'm saying? Just tell me. If you missed out on it, if you didn't get rich over it and you saw it, you know what the sad part about Bitcoin haters is? A lot of people saw Bitcoin at $100. A lot of people saw Bitcoin at $1,000 and they missed out on it. You know what I'm saying? So they missed out on all of these things. They've been holding silver for so long. Silver finally goes up. Gold finally goes up. And I'm not even anti-silver or anti-gold, but it's so funny watching people do stuff like that, say stuff like that. Just say you missed out on it, bro. You missed out. You saw it. You didn't invest in it. Got it. Epstein coin. You want to know who else had gold? Germany had gold. Germany had a lot of gold. Remember that? 1940s. They had a lot of gold. Hitler had gold. Bill Gates has gold. Bill Gates. Microsoft. I hope you guys don't own Microsoft. Yeah, man. People killed for gold. In fact, you guys are buying silver. The man who betrayed Jesus Christ paid to have Jesus killed by silver. And you're paying for silver. You're buying silver. You're buying the same coins that was used to literally betray Jesus Christ. So you're never going to get me to, like, I just think those arguments are weak. And again, you're buying silver. Yikes. That is exactly what Judas gave to the Romans to hand over Jesus Christ. And you're buying it. You should be ashamed of yourself, bro. It's a very sad thing, man. It hit 59,900. We're watching it on screen. Why are you getting mad at me for, Jason? We're watching Bitcoin on screen. It literally went all the way down right here. Look, it went down. It hit 59,900. Why are you getting mad at me for? What's wrong with this guy? Central banks are manipulated. Well, let me show you guys. Let's actually get serious. Let's not look. Whatever asset you find value in, invest in it. Do what you got to do. And I hope everybody's okay. Like for real. Like all jokes aside, you can call Bitcoin a scam. Most of my net worth is in Bitcoin. I'm down bad. I'm going down. I get it. Call me a loser. Call me whatever. But I really hope that your investments are okay, man, and that you're okay. Because I hate to see people losing money. I hate to see these big crashes. A lot of people go broke. A lot of people sell when they're down. It's a very sad thing. Like all jokes aside, you know. So let me show you guys what I think is happening, because it's something bigger than us, and I think we should all come together on this. Yeah, bro. I bought a lot of Bitcoin, man, and I'm down bad, bro. You know, and I accept my fate right now. I'm not winning. You know, a lot of people told me to buy gold and a lot more gold. I have a lot of silver. I used to be sponsored by a silver company. I have a lot of silver. I actually have really good silver coin that I like to show you guys. Hey, man, look, at least I'm winning here, right? That's Donald Trump coin. And I got an American silver bar too. United we stand, divided we fall. So yeah, let's stick together here, guys. We got to stick together on this one, because I think a lot of people are going through a lot, watching their portfolios kind of dwindle, and their portfolios are getting hit hard. And that shit is not fun, man. You know, I remember one time some dude, I read the story about a man who ended up gambling all his money in Atlantic City, and people were standing at a balcony, right? They were standing at a balcony, and they saw this man literally, you know, they were in Atlantic City. So, you know, there's a lot of casinos there, and they were just chilling, having drinks. And there's this guy that he's just walking in his balcony. He's walking back and forth, but they noticed him from afar. Bro, 2 seconds later, that man jumps and ends it all. And then come to find out, he ended up gambling all the money he ever had. He lost a lot of money. This is a long time ago. I think this is like right after the 2008 crisis. Yeah, this is like right after the 2008 crisis. You know, stuff like that. Why am I buying silver? I'm not buying silver. Those are coming from the company. Those came from a company I used to work with called Noble Gold. So they sent me a bunch of silver. They used to pay me in silver. They used to pay me in gold. So that's why I have a bunch of it. And I was blessed because of that. So when it went up, you know, I was very happy for people, stuff like that. All right. So Bitcoin's having a little rally. Is Bitcoin finding a home? Silver is rallying up a little bit. Look, whoever has gold, man, you're winning no matter what. Right? And the last year you're up. In the last 5 years, you're up 160%. You know, you're doing pretty good if you're holding gold, right? And I would just hold gold. I would just hold it. Now, I'm a bigger fan of Bitcoin. Obviously, I'm a Bitcoin maxi. Everybody knows this now. I buy a lot of Bitcoin. I've been buying Bitcoin. Keeps going down even more. That's just my preference. You know, I can tell you, and I can tell you why. I'm not going to try to convince you. If you have something against that, that's totally fine. And again, it's not fun. It's not a fun thing. Let me play this video real quick.
Well, the crypto crash continues, but this isn't just a crypto crash. This is the great unwind. Every headline says Bitcoin crashed below 70,000, but Bitcoin didn't crash because of Bitcoin. What you're watching right now is the greatest forced liquidation event since COVID. Last night, silver crashed 22% in 2 hours. Gold dropped 9%. Its worst day in decades. $830 billion wiped from software stocks in 6 days. When everything sells at at the same time, that's not people deciding that these assets suck. That's people being forced to sell some of their assets to cover their losses that are occurring somewhere else. Michael Burry, the guy who made almost $1 billion from the financial collapse of 2007, he just called it a collateral death spiral. Here's how that works. Over the last 2 years, institutions loaded up on leverage, borrowing.
Yeah. So again, I think this is the most important part. So, oh man, there's such a dirty game being played right now. It's so dirty, man. It's so dirty what's going on with these leveraged positions. And it's a death spiral. It really is a death spiral, man. Like it's a really nasty game. I love the way, first of all, this guy's a troll most of the time, but he is explaining this to a degree. Yeah. Tell us more about Bitcoin. Yeah, I can explain it to you. Let me just finish showing you guys this video because this has a lot to do. This isn't, again, man, this is crazy.
Collapse of 2007, he just called it a collateral death spiral. Here's how that works. Over the last 2 years, institutions loaded up on leverage, borrowing against crypto to buy stocks, metals, and everything else. When crypto fell, their collateral shrunk. Their brokers called and said, yo, bro, send me more money or we're gonna sell. Well, they didn't have it. So they dumped their silver, their gold, their tech stocks, and that triggered more margin calls on other funds. And the dominoes keep falling. 2.56 billion in Bitcoin positions were forced liquidated. $900 billion erased from crypto. And
okay, so it starts with crypto, but it goes to stocks. It goes to leverage positions. It goes to margin calls. And a lot of people are basically blaming JP Morgan. They're blaming Jamie Dimon. They're blaming all these things. I want to show you something real quick. Remember how on October, right? October was the crazy liquidation date. It was the highest liquidation date in crypto history. But there is a deeper conspiracy behind that because that day, many people got liquidated from their long positions, right? That means they were leveraging, buying. They weren't buying spot Bitcoin. They were leveraging. So when you leverage, you basically, my dog is barking. So you basically, you leverage your position on Bitcoin. So you're not buying spot Bitcoin. So if I buy Bitcoin right now, I'm buying it to hold for the long term. What a lot of people were doing in these exchanges, they were basically borrowing money through their Bitcoin to basically go long on Bitcoin. So when Bitcoin was at 126,000, what happened was there was a trigger, a collapse. People started getting liquidated. Bitcoin went from 126,000 all the way to 110, all the way to 105, all the way to 95,000. People got liquidated. $19 billion in liquidations. This was the highest liquidation event in history in crypto. So this comes, yeah, look how recent this was, guys. So this explains a lot of what's going on with crypto as a whole. So the biggest crypto liquidation event in history occurred on October 10th, 2025, with over $19 billion in leveraged positions wiped out in 24 hours, triggered by U.S. threats of massive tariffs on Chinese goods, causing cascade of forced selling, especially in the altcoins. So if you're holding these altcoins, man, people are down, but you are not leveraged. Leverage just means you are getting liquidated, bro. You are getting liquidated. That means that an exchange can liquidate you and take all of your money, and you're never going to get that money back. So massive drop in open interest by about $60 billion. So this was a very, very nasty day, but this is when the bear market started. The bear market starts every 4 years after its halving year. Especially during midterm years, Bitcoin and risk on assets don't do good. But this time it's a little different because it's not just crypto. It's AI stocks, AI companies, AI data center companies. It's a lot of these things that is going to, I told you guys about this complete stock. Let me show you another stock by the name of Oklo. I don't know if you guys invest in these stocks. I don't know if you guys invest in crypto. I don't know if you guys invest in like AI data center stocks. But this is another stock, guys. This stock is down bad. In the last 5 days, 27%. In the last month, 30%. That is Oklo. That is a nuclear reactor business who is getting a whole bunch of... So there's an AI bubble, man. And speaking of liquidations, let me show you the liquidations here. So another update. I just got another update from liquidations about this stuff. Here it is. Another $350 million wiped out of the crypto market today, of market cap today. So, man, it is ugly out there, bro. It is red, red, red. It is red, man. So somebody asked me, what is Bitcoin? So Bitcoin is a blockchain technology. It's a peer-to-peer network, to be used to basically have your own. I look at it as having my own bank. I use it as like a savings account type. Man, I hate the fact I got to defend Bitcoin right now when it's down this bad. But the future of Bitcoin is simple. It's scarce. It's a scarce asset. There's only 21 million Bitcoin ever printed. And I look at it as hard money. It's actual hard money. It can be transferred from peer to peer. And that's why I look at it as a plus, in my opinion. You know what I mean? So that's why I invest in it. Ethereum is pretty good because it's basically like a blockchain for smart contracts for a lot of stable coins. Has a good future for adoption. Solana does the same thing Ethereum does, but low key, faster and better. And yeah, so I look at Bitcoin as some type of gold, but like right now, it's not acting like it. It's acting like a technology stock because it is technology. Bitcoin acts like it's a stock. Bitcoin acts like a stock. Bitcoin moves like a stock. Bitcoin doesn't move like an asset. That's what a lot of people are. But then again, it's like, when has silver ever moved like this? Silver is very volatile. Silver is not supposed to move like this because it's trillions and trillions of dollars being moved in moments. Like, if you don't believe me, let's go to world's assets by market cap. Assets by market cap. So when you search up markets by asset, and I know some people probably don't understand what I'm saying, but I hope you do, right? So we're talking about so much money, right? So gold has a $33 trillion market cap. 33 trillion. Silver has a $3.8 trillion market cap. So when you go down by 50% in 5 days, that's trillions of dollars in and out of the market. That's crazy. Bitcoin's only a $1.25 trillion market cap. So if Bitcoin ever captures just half of 33 trillion, just half, or even not even half, let's say it captures about 25% of this, Bitcoin's going to be at 800,000 per coin. If Bitcoin was $20 trillion, it would be at pretty much $1 million per coin. So there is a lot of money out there. People are going to gold. The thing about gold and silver is that people trust gold more than silver. You know what I mean? And $33 trillion market cap, that's crazy, man. That is a lot of money. People don't understand. Bitcoin is only 1 trillion. People look at the price of Bitcoin and think that Bitcoin is really high. It's not, because it's only $1 trillion. The reason why you see Bitcoin's price so high is because there's only 21 million. You know what I mean? It's only 21 million, and it's very scarce. So when somebody buys it and a lot of people buy it, you'll see the price. So if you'll see the price at 126,000, well, it's a $2.5 trillion market cap. So that's my explanation to a lot of these things. But yeah, a lot of things are down. You know, there's people that, everything was going down. Silver was at $126. And now it's back to almost $59 or whatever the heck is that, $64. So scary, man. It's scary to think that you can hold an asset that rarely ever moved. Look, silver never really moved. If you've been holding silver maximum, right? If you've been holding silver from 2018, it was $17, $16 an ounce, $14 an ounce. It went to $24 an ounce. It went to $20 an ounce. It never moved. For 10 years, the highest it ever moved was $30. And all of a sudden, one day, it's at $120 something. So imagine something not moving for that long, and all of a sudden, bow, you get a wick all the way up. So that to me is very worrying about what's coming. What is coming? Well, we don't know. But what has come already is that Bitcoin from its all-time high is down a lot of money. It's down almost 50 something percent. And stocks are beginning to dwindle down as well. So Bitcoin usually front runs what's going to happen to the market, the S&P 500. The S&P 500 are, of course, the top 500 companies in the United States stock market. So, yeah. Look at the price of silver in Shanghai and London. Let me look at that, bro. I got you right now. Silver and gold prices in Shanghai today. You might have to send me a link, bro, because I don't think this is gonna make sense. They sent me to a whole different page. I don't know why it's not popping up. Let me ask AI. Go to AI mode. AI mode usually helps. I don't know. It seems like it's the same. Maybe you're gonna have to send me a link to show me, but it seems to be the same in Shanghai and here too. Seems to be the same. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong thing. Yeah, it's definitely, I believe it's market manipulation. These billionaires and trillionaires, bro, they're trying to get in, they're trying to get in at a certain price, man. That's just the way it goes. You know what happens here? You know what happens with all this Epstein stuff and all this Bitcoin FUD? They get in at a lower price. They get in at a lower price, man, because everybody is scared. You know what I mean? People coming in here and they're scared. This is the best time to make money. My opinion. I'm not giving you financial advice. This is my opinion. I am looking at this like a once in a lifetime opportunity. I didn't think Bitcoin would ever get this low, but man, am I so happy about that. And I know it sounds crazy. Why are you happy that Bitcoin's dipping, bro? I'm happy, bro, because I'm going to try my best to get a few of them motherfuckers quick. You feel me? Like at some point, this thing is going to go back up. And when it goes back up, you thought silver and gold were violent. Man, when this thing goes up, you're going to see people switch up like this. And that's what happens every time. In 2022, right? When you go back to 2022, let's go to Bitcoin price in 2022. I know you guys remember what happened in 2022 because it was similar to this. So let me see if I can bring it up here. Let me go back to the AI mode. I like the AI mode. I like Gemini. I like Google's AI. I really do. All right, so let's go back in time. Let's go back to 5 years, man. So remember this? Remember how it topped out like at 64,000 in 2022, right? And okay, this is perfect, right? This is perfect. Let me show you guys. I'm gonna teach you guys something. I'm gonna teach this guy something real quick. All right, I'm gonna make a video out of this. So Bruce says Bitcoin's going to zero. Epstein tied to Bitcoin. Nobody will want to be associated with it. Okay. So Bitcoin in 2022, during that bull cycle, it tipped over. It cracked $64,402. Within that next year, a lot of things like the Epstein stuff, equivalent to it. It wasn't quite the Epstein stuff, but you know what it was? It was the NFTs crashing. It was FTX collapse. It was Terra Luna collapse. It was all these things that were happening. And people like this guy were probably bought at 64,000. He's watching all these things happen that are fear, uncertainty, and doubt against Bitcoin and the entire crypto market, right? You know what he does? Bitcoin goes to 44,000 and then bow, Bitcoin goes to 19,000 from 64,000. And everybody is like, oh my God, Bitcoin's going to zero. Bitcoin's going to zero. It's at 16,692. It's down 64% from its all-time highs. And guess what? Slowly but surely starts to go up 27, 30K. And this same guy by the name of Brew, he was probably like, yo, damn, yo, I should have bought at 16,000, yo. Damn, it's at 30K already. And then it goes from 30K and then it goes to 42K. He's like, oh my God, bro. I should have bought at 16K, son. Damn, I told everybody it's going to zero. I told everybody, Epstein's tied to Bitcoin. He created Bitcoin. Oh my God, all this crazy shit. And then he sees it at 68. And then he sees it at 96. Then he sees it at 100. And Brew, he's panicking in the comments. He's like, oh, man, this shit was at 16,000. I should have bought it. And then Brew sees it at 126,000. And he's like, man, bro, I said it was going to zero, but it's at 126,000. Like, damn, it's joint hitting the all-time highs. So this is the same guy from every cycle. You have to know that this is the way things work. It is psychological. If you believe in something, you got to stick to your guns on it. Because if you don't, people like Brew will convince you that it's going to zero because he says that Epstein created it. Epstein, somebody that didn't know how to create an encrypted email to not get caught and get locked up for being a pedophile. That's the same guy that created Bitcoin, the same guy that doesn't know how to do an encryption email, doesn't know how to encrypt himself, doesn't know how to hide himself. You telling me that that's Satoshi? Get the fuck out of here, yo. Stop that shit. Y'all are retarded for believing that. Most of y'all believe in that because you're believing in XRP because, you know, XRP is supposed to replace Bitcoin. That's supposed to be the great wealth transfer. You're listening to all these people talking about I had a dream about XRP, but let's go to XRP real quick. Hold on. Oh, it's getting nasty out here for you. Oh my goodness, Lord have mercy. Look, and I have nothing against XRP. I have something against people that say that Bitcoin is going to zero because they've said it time and time again, and it never goes to zero. They end up being those losers. Those are people like Brew. Those are the guys. Want to know what people like Brew are? Those are the guys that saw Bitcoin at $100 and said it's a scam. And then watched it go all the way up to 126,000 and still calling it a scam. He's also doing this, bringing up Dan Pena. Cool. Let's go to Dan Pena because I'm going to debunk this live on air. I'm going to show you guys why I think y'all all retarded. And okay, let's go to X real quick. Right. So the Dan Pena theory, because he has a video that everybody's sharing, including Benny Johnson for some reason, that, when everybody finds out who the creator of Bitcoin is, it's going to fucking zero. Remember this video right here?
And there's nothing humble about me. Bitcoin will go to fucking zero.
One day.
And a microsecond, whoop, like that. 99.999% of the people that own Bitcoin are fucking morons. Retarded.
Cool, right? So he says when people find out who the owner is, you want to know who he said? Because everybody's using this video to say that it was Epstein. But in reality, when you go look at the proof, you want to know who he said created Bitcoin? You want to know who he said created Bitcoin? Let me play this video for you guys real quick. He said Putin created Bitcoin. He said Putin created it. Vladimir Putin. That's what he told his audience. So everybody's using this video as it's, Epstein created it. It's an Epstein coin. But then this fucking retard ends up telling people, you want to know what he told people? Putin did it. It was Putin that invented. If you don't understand Bitcoin, if you don't understand what it's supposed to do, then just say that. You've never done the knowledge. Have you ever read Saifuddin Amos? Have you ever read Broken Money? Have you ever watched Mike Maloney's The Hidden Secrets of Money? Do you understand the problem with our financial system? Do you know what's going on? Do you know why even Bitcoin was created in the first place? Do you know why? Do you know why 2008 financial crisis happened? Do you know about subprime loans? Do you know about the over leveraging of banks, the bailouts, the little guy always getting fucked up? Do you guys know about that? I'm sure you don't, because all you do is listen to bad advice. Bad advice. This is what happens. Billionaires are going to be made here because you are too scared to realize or do any reading. You know what I'm saying? And so look, it's just like Brew is retarded. Show me the proof, bro. There's no proof. Well, the Epstein files show Epstein started the funding process for the white people. That is cap. That is a false pretense and a false statement, not only by you, but that is also a false statement because there's no proof of that. Everything has been debunked, by the way. You should look this up. Did Epstein create? Let me actually go. Let me show. I'll show you guys this video and then I'm gonna go. Cause hold on real quick. Let me, there's another video I want to show you guys, but I might show you that one. All right, let me show you guys this video and then we'll go. I want you guys to just understand. Don't listen to people like this guy. Okay, here we go. Let's listen to people like Jack Mallers, actual smart people, bro.
The last thing I will let happen to humanity is Jeffrey Epstein rob us humans of the invention that is Bitcoin. What is transpired with these email leaks and all of this data leak? Guys, it's very simple. The current system is disgusting. And for the future of our species and the future of our children, we have to fix it. We are battling the battle for human prosperity and the future for our kids. You have disgusting, pedophilic monsters running institutions, governments, countries, making extremely important decisions. We have to burn this existing system to the ground. Listen, we did not have a say in what we inherited. I'm young. I did not have a say in the world I inherited. But I'll be damned if I don't have a say in the world that I build, in the world that my kids inherit. Bitcoin will work. Open source software and distributed systems will prosper. Bitcoin is an open source project, meaning we get to see and audit everything. We can look at the code. If they implemented a backdoor, if they implemented something that was nefarious and malicious and destructive, we'd be able to see it. Bitcoin is a public utility. It's open to the world. And so we can all see it. Bitcoin is well engineered and functioning, and it doesn't matter what emails get leaked. The open source code doesn't change. Was a bad person involved when fire was invented? It doesn't matter. Fire is a utility. People can benefit from fire. How good of a person were the early internet pioneers? Does anyone know? I guess the point is Bitcoin's an open source utility. It's a neutral thing. It doesn't have feelings, emotions, intents. It's just a bunch of code that delivers a very useful utility like water, like fire, like steel. The last thing I will let happen to humanity is Jeffrey Epstein rob us humans of the invention that is Bitcoin. That's the last thing I will do. Fuck these people. If I have to go on CNBC every single day to ensure that the public knows that that guy has nothing to do with the credibility of this invention and how monumental it is.
So somebody, this is the weirdness about people like this, right? Like this is what bothers me, and this is one of the main reasons why I love Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, hold on, watch this. Hold on, where is it? Somebody stole. No, mods. I hope you didn't delete that comment. Don't. Okay, here we go. Don't delete it. Don't delete nobody's comments. I want people to know this. Okay, I swear you will cry soon, BTC. Imagine wishing bad on me because I don't want to be a part of the financial system. So I am going to use a private wallet to store my keys and keep my money offline, away from the government. But yet you want to see me cry, but you don't want to see these institutional and financial like devils and satanic people suffer. You don't want to see them suffer. You want to see me suffer because I want to invest in something outside of the system that I inherited, that I had no choice in inheriting along with you. A system that basically prints money, right? That prints fiat, the fiat system that has basically ruined everything, right? And you want to see me suffer? Why would you want to see me suffer? Why don't you want to see people that are bad suffer? People that are literally robbing people through loans, robbing people through predatory interest rates. Why don't you want to see them suffer? Why you want to see me suffer? Why don't you want to see the banks suffer? Why you want to see me suffer? Why don't you want to see the Federal Reserve who bailed out the banks instead of of normal people who lost their homes in the 2008 financial crisis? Why you want to see me suffer? Like, see that, like, You know what I mean? Like, they don't want to see them suffer. They want to see me suffer. Like, that's crazy. But this is the type of people that will defend the banks and defend the dollar, defend fiat, that has literally ruined everything. As soon as we got off the gold standard in 1971, when Richard Nixon made that decision, you want to know what went up after that? If you look at a graph, you would see overdoses went up. Fentanyl overdoses went up. Divorces went up. The more printing fiat currency has been a problem for the United States of America. We are $38 trillion in debt, and you want to see me suffer because I want to escape it? I want to escape the system, and that's what Bitcoin was used. That's what I use Bitcoin for. And yet you want to see me suffer? Like, that's crazy to me. That's how evil-minded some of you retards are, and it's sad, but that's the way things are. That's why I want to make a political, that's why I want to make a financial channel. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? But here's why I think your comment is off. Here's why I think your comment is, it just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Lou, we don't want to see you suffer. We want you to be vigilant and see what Bitcoin really is. Brother, the dollars that you are holding are literally blood money. Do you know what we have to do to remain the world's currency? Do you know why Trump has to go and take Greenland? You know why Trump has to get aggressive with other world leaders? Because we are the world's reserve currency. Do you know why we are indebted so much? I want to see the system burn down. I do. I hate that it has to be under Trump's watch. But it's a bad system. But I think it's crazy that you want to see Bitcoin suffer instead of seeing the system suffer for what they've done to normal, regular day people. You know what I mean? And I think it's crazy. I think it's crazy that some people, they now you want us to suffer. No, there's an escape. There's an escape. Bitcoin's the escape. I've suffered enough. We've all suffered enough. Hard assets are the escape. Silver is the escape. Gold is the escape. Why do you think people are going there? Why do you think people are buying that? Holding dollars are not ever good. I don't want to give financial advice, but if you just hold dollars and you don't have them in assets that are going to appreciate over time, you're doing your family a disservice. That's my opinion. But that's a real fact because inflation is eating at your dollars. The things that you could afford 5 years ago, you can't afford today with the same amount of money. That's a problem. That's a problem. That's the problem I'm talking about. You know what I mean? And there has to be something to solve that problem. And maybe the new Fed chair does that. But I think we have to go back to the gold standard. Why don't we go back to the gold standard? Because we can't. We have to print as much money as possible. And it's just a very nasty system. So that's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Let's go back to the gold standard. I don't care if my bags on Bitcoin go to zero. Let's fix it. Let's go back to the gold standard. Let's go back to having real hard money backing our fiat currency. But we're never going back to that same thing. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, we're never going back to that world where it's backed by something hard, a hard asset. So yeah, it sucks, man. You know what I mean? Let's go back. Let's go back to gold-backed dollars where you can't print any more gold than you can print dollars. Printing money, injecting money, it's been an unhealthy trend for years, for decades, man. You know what I mean? But the Federal Reserve won't do it. The Federal Reserve won't do it, man. And that's, to me, has been the problem. Inflation is a problem. Inflation is a killer. People can't afford homes. We have broken money. And we got all these big institutions taking advantage. So get mad at me for not wanting to be a part of that system. 1970 was when 1971 is when we went off the gold standard. So you have to pretty much study why we even had a gold standard to begin with, because dollars were never fiat. It was just literally a receipt that said that you have actual gold. That's what dollars were really representing of. They were representing the actual gold that you owned. Even though gold is very centralized, that's why I love Bitcoin. It's also decentralized. You can put it in a cold storage, put your keys away, and just live in privacy, right? I don't like the government being in my business. be honest with you, I'm really anti-big government. I think we kind of all are, right? Like, out of the hope everybody in here is. So when the dollar collapses, right? To answer your question, this is a good question, right? And I think a lot of people get this confused. I think that's a good question. So we measure Bitcoin, we measure Bitcoin by dollars because it's the world's reserve currency. But the moment that the world's reserve currency, like the dollars go, Bitcoin's value would be shown. So let me actually show you Iran's. This is what happened in Iran. This is what's probably going to happen if the world's currency ever collapses, which I doubt, but it could happen. I mean, the dollar it's been collapsing for a long time, but let me show you what I mean by that. So Iran currency collapsed. So it happened in Iran where their currency collapsed, right? Let me see if I can show you this video. Right here. Here's the video real quick. Let me play this. I'm going to play this last video real quick for you guys.
Guys, come take a look at this. What you see here is not a tech stock or your favorite meme coin. What you see here is the value of the Iranian rial, which has been devalued by 95% in the last couple of months. Let's get into it. Imagine waking up one day and your life savings are completely wiped out. That's what's happening to the people in Iran. It started all about 4 months ago when the Iranian parliament approved of removing 4 zeros from its national currency. So as you can see, the government, no matter what government, does not have your best interests at heart. We've seen this happen time and time again. It's not just one government. As long as a country can print money, they will print money on behalf of their citizens. This happened in Venezuela. We've seen it happen in Lebanon. We've seen it happen in a lot of different countries, and it's going to continue to happen until people, us, we choose a better money. I saw this on Twitter, and it serves a valid point. It says Bitcoin is up 2,600% in Iranian rials because of the currency collapsing. So Iranians who held Bitcoin preserved their wealth, while Iranians who trusted their government lost 96% of their life savings. Everyone deserves money that their government can't destroy, devalue, inflate away, confiscate, all that. So this is a valuable lesson for everyone around the world. Even if you're not from Iran, pay attention. 1 Bitcoin is now worth over 100 billion Iranian rials. So that means if you had saved your wealth in Bitcoin, you would be rich right now. The people.
So again, as soon as the currency collapses or it's not being measured by, again, the only way that a currency can coexist or be a currency, they have to basically be there's always got to be a reserve currency. So the reserve currency could be the yuan, could be the yen, it could be the dollar. Right now it's the dollar. So everything you measure, it's by the dollar. But if the dollar collapses and there is no currency, people are going to be measuring their wealth by what? How many guns they have, how much gold and silver they have, how much Bitcoin they have, by the things that they can't print no more of. So people's worth, you won't know it. You won't know it because it can't be measured by dollars anymore. So the only thing that you can measure is how much you have of something that you can't print more out of. That's the answer to that question. Think about having as many guns as you possibly can, brother, because that is when the currency collapses and the world collapses, the only currency that's going to matter is, do you have enough firepower to protect you and your family? That's the only currency that's going to matter. All right, guys, I appreciate everybody. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, we got 108 people. I appreciate everybody. 108 people is a lot of people for talking about stocks and crypto and all these things. So yeah, make sure to smash the like button, please, if you can. And yeah, I appreciate everybody coming through. I know we got heated a few times, but that's just me. People think that that's just like, that's a Bronx thing. I like it. I get very passionate. I like talking. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you guys. Political Tracker, I appreciate you, man. I'll see you guys on the next.